Good evening, students. In previous session, you learned about the concept of array slices and also learned how you can extract subsets of one-dimensional NumPy array using slices. Now, in this session, we will discuss about how you can extract subsets of two-dimensional array using slices. Now, in two-dimensional arrays, slicing of two-dimensional array elements is just similar to slicing of list elements with two-dimensional. That means you can slice a two-dimensional array in both axes to obtain a rectangular subset of the original array. For extracting a slice from a two-dimensional array, we need to specify the syntax as array name. Then we use two parameters, one parameters for row slicing parameters and another for columns slicing parameters. To show the syntax is array name, then a start, end, colon, step, again separated by comma, and again another parameter is also a start, colon, end, colon, and a step. So here the first slicing parameter indicates the row and second parameter indicates column. In two-dimensional array slice is computed as two things. The first thing is extract rows as per slices specified. And next thing, on extracted rows, apply column slice to get the desired two-dimensional array slice. So, like one-dimensional array parameter, here when parameter is not specified, means you can also omit the parameters. So when parameters not specified, then the start takes default value as 0, end takes dimension size, and step takes default value of 1, same as the one-dimensional array. We have already utilized it. Now, for understanding the array slices in two-dimensional array, first of all we create the two-dimensional array. You can create it by using any number of rows, any number of columns, but here we take 2 rows having 5 columns. So the first line is import numpy as np. So in this statement, numpy module is stored as np, and we take the variable a, that is the name of the array. The a equals to np dot array, then the first list 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and another nested list is 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Students, you know very well that the two-dimensional array is array of arrays. When this statement is executed, the two-dimensional array is created having 2 rows and 5 columns. And whenever you print this array, like print A, then the result will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 as the first row, and the second row is 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. These values are stored in two-dimensional array. But for applying slices, you must have to know the array indexing. If any confusion about array indexing, then array slicing is more difficult. So first of all, once again, I remind you the indexing method or indexing positions of the two-dimensional array. If this array is taken, then what happens? The 2 rows, that is, index start with 0 for both row and column as well. So 0 rows and 1, these 2 rows horizontally subset, and column having 5 columns, so the start with column 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So when you assess the particular elements, then you coordinate rows and columns. So that here the 10 is stored as 0 rows, 0 column. 20 is stored as 0 rows, 1 column. 30 is stored as 0 rows, 2 column. 40 is stored as 0 rows and 3 columns. And 50 is stored as 0 rows, 4th column. 4th column, that is the 5th column. Actually, the counting begins with 1, but indexing starts with 0. Similarly, if we consider the row 1, then 60 is stored as 1 rows and 0 column. 70 is stored as 1 rows and 1 column. And likewise, all the elements are stored. You also know the indexing can be also used as negative index. So when we provide the negative index for column, then it will start from right to left, means reversely, so that the 5th element is -1, then -2, -3, then -4 and then -5. And row also starts from bottom to top. This one is -1 and -2. Now students, go through the following examples to understand slicing at two-dimensional arrays. Once again, consider this table. This table is just 2 rows having 5 columns. Now see example 1. You can use syntax in a different way, like one-dimensional array. So for better understand, we use the several syntax from the main syntax. In such a way, the example 1. Here we apply the syntax as array name, start, then comma is the separator, then a start, colon, end. Now, the first parameter is the row parameter. In row slicing parameter, we just use a start. And it means we omit stop values or end values and also step values. And in column parameter, we use a start value and end value. It means from the start element, slice element from the start value index to the end value index. Now consider this example. Print A, then 1 comma 1 column 4. Here A is the name of the array and 1 is the start value for row parameter. Then there is comma separator and the column starts with 1 column and 4th. Now it means this select row 1 means one row to the end of bottom of the array and column 1 to 4 means the end value minus 1. You know very well, whenever you specify the end value, then end value minus 1. The end value is the 4, so that 4 minus 1, that is 3. So it extracts one rows 1 to 3 columns. So that here is the one row and the 1th element start from 0 to 1th element, that is 70. The second means 1 of 2, that is 80. 1 of 3, that is 90. So that the result will be displayed as 70, 80 and 90. I think you understand. If you have any confusion, then go through the table and understand indexing position first of all. Once again, print A 1. So here before the comma, this one is the row parameter. So here we specify only a start parameter, that is 1 for row. It means end and step are omitted. And in column 1 column 4, that means start value is 1 and end value is 4. And you know the end value always means minus 1. So that extracts 1 rows and what's the column? From 1 column to 3. And so that the 70, 80 and 90 will be displayed. Now that example 2. In this example, the syntax is taken as array name, then a start, column, end, then comma, start. In this syntax, we use row parameter as a start value and end value, while in column parameter only we specify the start value. So when we take the example like print A, then 0 colon 2 comma 2. So here from both elements returns index 2. That means this selects rows 0 colon 2. That means row 0 and row 1. 2 minus 1, end value always less than the specified value. So 0 and 1, 2 rows, and comma 2, that means the column 2. So the 0 rows and the 2 position, that is 30. And in one rows the second column is 80, so that the result will be 30 and 80. Now see another example, that is example 3. In this example, we utilize the syntax as array name, start, colon end, comma start, colon int. That means row parameters. In row parameters, we specify a start value as well as end value, and also in column parameter we specify a start value and end value. So when we write the statement like print a 0 colon 2 comma 1 colon 4, it means slice from both elements, that is slice index 1 2 3. So this will return a 2-dimensional array. Means this select rows 0 and 1, 1 less than the 2, 0 rows and 1, and column 1 2 3. Now first of all 0 rows start with 1 column, 1 2 3, that is 0 of 120, 0 of 2 30, 0 of 3 40. And also the next row, that is 1, 1 of 1, that is 70, 1 of 2, that is 80, 1 of 3, that is 90. So the result will be 20, 30, 40 as first row, and 70, 80 and 90. Move to the next example. In example 4, here we use array name, then colon, comma, start, colon, end. This syntax is used to slice all rows and column from a start value to end value minus 1. Now, if we write the statement like print, then a colon, comma, 2 colon 4. Here row parameters is omitted, so all rows will be selected, and in column parameter start value is specified as 2 and end value is 4. It means this statement selects rows 0 and 1, because in this array we have only 2 rows, 0 rows and 1 rows, and column 1 2 3 for both the rows. So the element extracted as 0 rows 2 column, that is 30, and third column is 40. 30 40 from rows 0, and similarly from rows 1 it will be 80 90. So the result will be 30 40 80 and 90. Now next example. In this example we take array name, a start, colon end, comma, then column. In this syntax, in previous syntax, row parameter is omitted and column parameter is specified as a start and end. But in example 5, the row parameter is specified, that is a start and end value, and column parameter is omitted. It means slice rows from a start value to end value minus 1 and all columns to be displayed. If we supply the statement like print A, then 0 colon 2, here 0 is the start value for row and 2 is end value. End value minus 1, that is 1. 0, that means it selects 0 and 1 rows, and column is not specified, column parameter, so that it represents all columns, and the result will be extracted from zeros, 0 rows and all columns, that is 0. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and again 1 rows 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. That means the entire array will be displayed. Like one-dimensional array, in two-dimensional array you can also use the negative index. Just consider the example, print A 0 colon, now minus 1, then comma and just the column. In this example, the row parameter is specified as a start value and end value, and column parameter is omitted. The row parameter start with 0 and end with minus 1 negatively. So means row, the minus 1 bottom to top index. So here this select rows zeros and all columns, rows zeros and all columns, because minus 1 is the end value. So minus 1, that is 0. So from 0 rows to 0 rows, so that, and column is not specified, means all columns. So the result will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. So by utilizing several syntax, you can slice the elements from one-dimensional array as well as two-dimensional array. Likewise, you can also extract from three-dimensional arrays and so on. So students, that's the ends of slicing. Now in next class, we'll discuss about the other operations like joining, horizontally, vertically, etc. So thank you and have a nice day.